Nick here. In this video I'm going to show you how to play natural harmonics. I'm going to do it on an acoustic guitar because it's more difficult on an acoustic than it is on an electric. If you have an electric, it's quite easy to play harmonics, especially if you whack the gain up a bit. This video is purely about natural harmonics. There are other videos in the series that will talk about pinched harmonics and artificial harmonics. So, natural harmonics. There are three places to play natural harmonics, essentially. There's the easy one, which is in position 12, slightly more difficult in 7, and more difficult even in 5. The easiest place to play a harmonic is on the 12th fret. Now, it typically has 2 dots. I'm afraid I don't have 2 dots on this guitar. Also, it's where a number of guitars will actually join the body here, or nowadays most guitars join at the 14th fret, so the 12th fret is a couple behind on this guitar. What you're trying to do is to touch the string above the 12th fret. If you were playing a note, you would press the string down in between the 12th fret and the 11th fret, but to get a harmonic you put your finger right above the fret and just touch the string, and then you take your finger off. It helps if you pluck quite hard. If you leave your finger on, oops, I can't keep my finger on, I automatically take it off. If you keep your finger on, it doesn't sound quite so good. So the technique is to just touch the string and then let go after you've plucked it. Now, if it's not working, you're doing one of two things. You're either pressing too hard and getting sort of a dud sound, or if you've got your finger in the wrong place, it's not quite right. So if you're not sure, if you're finding it difficult, what you can do is keep plucking and gradually move your finger. There you go. So I tend to use my ring finger, and you're aiming for the fleshy bit on your fingertip. And you should be able to use the flat and get them all. Okay, so that's the first harmonic, and what you're playing there is exactly the same note as if you press the string down. The harmonic is the same. Okay, so first little exercise is to play each note in turn and then play all of them together. Let's repeat that again, starting on the top E. I found it was easier to play the harmonics once I understood what I was actually doing. If you think about the guitar, the pitch of the sound you get out of the guitar is related to the length of the string, or the effective length of the string. So when you play an open string, it's vibrating between the two ends. It's basically making a that shape, if you like. And as you move your finger up, you're shortening the length of the string, or the effective length of the string. When you play a harmonic, if you play a harmonic on the 12th, what you're actually doing is you're making the string go into that shape, if you will. So it's halving the effective length of the string. So what you're trying to do is just make that point perfectly stationary, and the string will oscillate around it, which is why harmonics sound different. They sound richer, if you like, than just playing the note, because you're getting the sound from both sides of the string. In fact, you can play harmonics on this side if you wish. It's just the same as playing on that side. So once I understood that, I realised that when you play on the 7th, what you're trying to do is to make the string go through that point, and then there must be an equivalent one going down here, which is up on the 19th. You get exactly the same note. And then by the time you get down to the 5th, you've actually chopped the string into quarters. And if I had enough frets, I might get one. Yep, there you go, 24th fret. Okay, so the 12th fret is quite easy to play. The next one is on the 7th fret. That's not quite so easy to play. Technique is exactly the same. You're going to touch the string right above the fret and release as soon as you hit it. Now, you might notice the interesting thing there is I've gone down the guitar to the 7th fret, but the note is higher than if I play up there. And the reason for that is I'm now playing the essentially the string is now divided into thirds. So we've got the string going down, a node through my finger, and then another node down here on the 19th fret. It's exactly the same as the 7th and the 19th give you exactly the same harmonic, because the string is now split into 3. And the note you're hearing on a B string is exactly the same as if you played the string but an octave above. That's the second harmonic. So same exercise, each note, each string in turn, and then all of them, starting on the top E. So the last natural harmonic we're going to look at is the third harmonic, which we do on the 5th fret. This is more difficult than the 7th, which in turn was more difficult than the 12th. Again, exactly the same technique. You're going to touch and spring off right above the frets. And again, you'll note that that harmonic is much higher than the last one. So the lowest harmonic on the string is the 12th, it's the first harmonic. The second harmonic on the 7th is a bit higher, and by the time you get to the 5th, it's even higher. And if you're quick, you'll notice that the 5th is the same note but an octave higher. So what's happened now is your string is now split into 4. So the string is going like that. And the node points are at the 5th, the 12th and the 24th, which is, I don't know, somewhere up there. So you're now on the 5th fret, on an E string, you're playing the note of E again, but 2 octaves higher than the string itself. So the string, then you play the 12th fret, okay, an octave higher, and then an octave higher still on the 5th. Okay, so it's a tricky one to remember, because up here, the 5th, you're playing exactly the same note, you're playing an E, and when you were playing the 7th, you were playing the same note as if you pressed it down, but an octave higher. But by the time you get to the 5th, you're playing a different note. You're playing an E. So let's try the same little practice, a note at a time, sorry, a string at a time, and then all of them. We'll start at the bottom end. What can you do with harmonics? You can play tunes. So the little tune I was playing at the intro, which is just a standard sort of a clock chiming tune. Shall we try that one together? Just follow the tab up above. When you see a tab, the tab for a harmonic is typically either H-A-R-M, harm, written above the tab, or you might see an H for harmonic, or you might see an NH for natural harmonic. So if you're looking at tabs, that's what you're going to see. So you don't actually fret it, you play the harmonic when you see an H, an NH or a harm. So let's try this little tune. We're starting on the 2nd string, 12th fret, then the 3rd string, 12th fret, then jump down to the 7 on the 4th string, up to the 12, then backwards, 12, 7, 12, 12, and then you can do the little chime with either 2 or 3 strings. Okay, shall we try that a bit faster? 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. And the chimes. So you can play tunes once you realise what the notes are. Another use is when you're playing chords, especially at the ends of songs, for example. So if you finished on an E minor, say, then you might want to just pick out the top 3 strings. If you're working out what you can do, you're looking for anywhere that has got open strings. So when you're playing an E minor, those top 3 strings are all open. Therefore, you can play the harmonics on the 12th fret or the 5th. Same with the G, if you were playing a G. These 3 strings here, these 2nd, 3rd and 4th, are all open. So we can play those. So we finished on a G. B minor. They're also good just to add an effect, a bit of extra rhythm as you're going through. So if you're playing, always sounds nice. Just a bit of pizzazz, really. Finally, if you are using an alternative tuning on the guitar, you open up a whole new range of opportunities for your harmonics, because obviously they'll be chordal, and that's great. And I'm not going to retune my guitar for this bit. So that about wraps up natural harmonics. There'll be more tutorials to cover pinched harmonics and artificial harmonics, and we'll finish with an artificial harmonic. Until next time.